All right, hello and welcome back, everybody. J-Man here for some more reactions. So we have got two to go for the Nightwish Imaginaerum album, which I have absolutely freaking loved so far. So we've got Song of Myself. This is one of my top shelfers here. We did listen to Annette doing this live. She had a couple of little pitch issues on that one, but overall, I still thought she did a really good job. So interested to hear how we do on the album version here. So yeah, let's dive on in. Let's get to it. Nightwish Imaginaerum album, Song of Myself. Let's get it.
Sheltering me from the blue, sunbathing on its head.
Let's hear how she does this next line.
A catnap in the ghost town of my heart. She dreams of story time and the river goes. Of mermaids, of Whitman's and the ride. Raving harlequins, gigantic toys.
Didn't have the Marco climb. Here we come. Yeah, this part is new to me.
I see a slow, simple youngster by a busy street, with a begging bowl in his shaking hand, trying to smile but hurting infinitely. Nobody notices. I do but walk by.
All right, is this Troy? I'm going to pause it here because I'm having trouble making it out, and this is like spoken word kind of stuff, so I feel like I need to hear what's going on. Or understand what's going on. Let me do this. Let me bring this over here. Sorry, everybody. So, Song of Myself lyrics. Does this have the... No, I want the... I want the stuff at the end. That's just the song. Song Myself... Spoken word lyrics. No, I'm getting Walt Whitman. Nightwish. Is it from Walt? Is it from Walt Whitman? It's called Love. Nightwish Love. No, that gives me Ghost Love Score. Damn it! Alright, I might be hosed here. Anybody have a link to the lyrics for that spoken word? Before I move on. Because I'm having trouble finding it myself. Alright. Alright, here we go, yeah. There we go. Got it. All right, I got it. Let me get this where I can see more of that. All right, here we go. All right, sorry everybody on YouTube. Here we go. Bringing it back. We're gonna let's see. Let's go back to here and go. There we go. Yeah, that was a bunch of smidges. I do.
I see a slow, simple youngster by a busy street, with a begging bowl in his shaking hand, trying to smile but hurting infinitely. Nobody notices. I do but walk by. An old man gets naked and kisses a model doll in his attic. It's half light and he's in tears. When he finally comes, his eyes are cascading. I see a beaten dog in a pungent alley. He tries to bite me. All pride has left his wild, drooling eyes. I wish I had my leg to spare. A mother visits her son, smiles to him through the bars. She's never loved him more. An obese girl enters an elevator with me, all dressed up fancy, a green butterfly on her neck. Terribly sweet perfume deafens me. She's going to dinner alone. That makes her even more beautiful. I see a model's face on a brick wall, a statue of porcelain perfection beside a violent city kill. A city that worships flesh.
The first thing I ever heard was a wandering man telling his story. It was you, the grass under my bare feet, the campfire in the dead of the night, the heavenly black of sky and sea.
It was us, roaming the rainy roads, combing the gilded beaches, waking up to a new gallery of wonders every morn, bathing in places no one's seen before, shipwrecked on some matte-painted island, clad in nothing but the surf, beauty's finest road.
Beyond all mortality we are, swinging in the breath of nature, in the air of the dawn of life, a sight to silence the heavens.
I want to travel where life travels, following its permanent lead, where the air tastes like snow music, where grass smells like fresh-born Eden. I would pass no man, no stranger, no tragedy or rapture. I would bathe in a world of sensation, love, goodness, and simplicity.
While violated and imprisoned by technology.
The thought of my family's graves was the only moment I used to experience true love. That love remains infinite.
As I never be the man my father is.
How can you just be yourself when you don't know who you are? Stop saying, I know how you feel. How could anyone know how another feels?
Who am I to judge a priest, beggar, or politician, wrongdoer? I am, you are, all of them already.
Go play, forget every rule. There's no fear in a dream.
Is there a religion inside this snowflake?
A child asked me.
What's the color of our lullaby?
I've never been so close to truth as then I touched its silver lining.
Death is the winner in any war. Nothing noble in dying for your religion,
For your country, for ideology, for faith, for another man. Yes.
Paper is dead without words, ink idle without a poem, all the world dead without stories.
Without love and the Sami beauty.
Careless realism costs souls.
Ever seen the Lord smile? All the care for the world made beautiful a sad man. Why do we still carry a device of torture around our necks? Oh, how rotten your pre-apocalypse is. All you Bible black fools living over nightmare ground. I see all those empty cradles and wonder if man will ever change. I too wish to be a decent man boy, but all I am is smoke and mirrors. Still, given everything, may I be deserving. And there forever remains that change from G to E minor.
All right. Holy crap. I was not expecting that at the end of a banger like Song of Myself. Wow. All right. So for starters, can somebody tell me, are these Tuomas's words? These are Tuomas's words, right? Yeah. All right, so for those of you on YouTube that are not into the whole long drawn out thing, if you're just here for the reaction, obviously, Song of Myself, the song itself, nailed it, knocked it out of the park. Annette did a fantastic job on this. If this were my first exposure to this song, it would still be a top shelf song for me. If this were the only version of the song that were out there, it would still be a top shelf song for me. That breakdown at the end is the most nasty, grindy breakdown that I've ever heard. I think in any song. I love it. I love the stops. I love the way that Tuomas plays with the stops in it. That whole song is just a freaking masterpiece to me. And then he goes and does this at the end of it. So for those of you that are here for the reaction to the song itself, this is going to be it. Loved it. Fantastic. Masterpiece. Tuomas is a genius. The band did incredible. I loved Annette's vocal on it. That's it for that. I'm going to now dig into this spoken word a little bit here. If you're just here for the video and the reaction, thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a good rest of your day. But we're going to dig into this spoken word stuff a little bit more. These first few parts, the second verse is kind of a trip. Weird. Definitely that second verse is weird, but hey, I mean, it's humanity, right? It is humanity. But the first part, I see a slow, simple youngster by a busy street with a begging bowl in his shaking hand, trying to smile, but hurting infinitely. Nobody notices. I do, but walk by. There are, and we've talked about this sort of a thing before, there are so many people to us in our world around us that sometimes they're just kind of invisible to us, and we pay them no attention. And living here in LA, there is definitely a large homeless population, and when you go to certain places, you can't avoid it. And I can't help but be heartbroken by it. I have been known to give them a little bit of money from time to time. I try to pick the ones that look like they're not strung out on a drug or an alcoholic, where they're just going to take the money and continue to feed their habit. And not that they're to blame for their habit. I'm not making any decisions there, so please don't rake me over the coals for that. But it's hard to see them. It's hard to see another human. For me, it's hard to see another human being struggling and not want to help them in some way. And there's so many of them. I don't have the means and the ability to help them out, and I wish I could. I wish, if I were one of those multi-billionaire people out there, I would definitely be doing something to kind of help on that front. But the second one, this is definitely something, obviously, that in Europe gets by. I don't know that. I don't know that it would fly here in the U.S. So an old man gets naked and kisses a model doll in his attic. It's half light, and he's in tears. When he finally comes, his eyes are cascading. Take the sexual stuff away from that, and it's a sad statement on, this old man that all he's got is that doll. And That's horribly sad. I see a beaten dog in a pungent alley. He tries to bite me. All pride has left his wild, drooling eyes. I wish I had my lug to spare. You guys, you know me. You know my affection for dogs, and I don't know how much I've talked about, just my affection for animals in general. That verse really hits me. A mother visits her son, smiles to him through the bars. She's never loved him more. That's embracing the person despite their flaws, I think, is what Tuomas is getting at there. I don't, as a father, it's hard to imagine them doing something that would make me not love them anymore. I don't know. It's hard to say if your child was like a mass murderer or something. I don't know. That would be a rough one. But short of that, I absolutely understand the sentiment that Tuomas is putting out there here. An obese girl enters an elevator with me, all dressed up fancy, a green butterfly on her neck. Terribly sweet perfume deafens me. She's going to dinner alone. That makes her even more beautiful. Yeah. Fat shaming is definitely a thing here in the U.S. And, when I was younger, I can remember kind of like making fun of some fat kids. Not out loud. Never in like a bully kind of way. I can remember in my head thinking things about, fat kids and maybe talking with friends about it, but never like, bullying them or saying those kinds of things to their face kind of a way. But I think that was just, childish stupidness. But there's a person inside there. Whatever that person looks like, there's a person inside there, and we don't know what got them there. Some people have metabolic issues, and they can't help it, and even though they eat next to nothing, they gain weight, and they can't control it. Some people have psychological issues, where they substitute food for love and food for other things that are missing in their life, and maybe it was some people when they experience extreme remorse or loss, they go into this place where food gives them pleasure and they can't help themselves, and maybe somewhere down the line they kind of realize what they're doing and they can try to turn back the clock and whatever. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what got that person to where they are. They're a person. We should all respect them, despite we don't know. And Tuomas says it, I think, later in here, and we'll get to that. So we'll kind of pause on that. But I love that verse as well. I see a model's face on a brick wall, a statue of porcelain, perfection beside a violent city kill, a city that worships flesh. I don't think we need to break that down. That's pretty well. He's pretty much just saying that flat out there. Yeah, it is a shame that we've become that way. The first thing I've ever heard was a wandering man telling his story. It was you, the grass under my bare feet, the campfire in the dead of the night, the heavenly black of the sky and sea. That verse, I'm not sure what he's alluding to. Not quite sure. Don't want to spend a great deal, really trying to break it down. But yeah. It was us roaming the rainy roads. So is he talking about somebody in general here? Does anybody at least know that? Is he talking about a particular person? Do we know? It was us roaming the rainy roads, combining the gilded beaches, combing the gilded beaches, waking up to a new gallery of wonders every morn, bathing in places no one's been seen before, shipwrecked on some matte painted island, clad in nothing but the surf, beauty's finest robe. I like that little turn of a phrase there. Clad in nothing but the surf, beauty's finest robe. Beyond all mortality we are, swinging in, can't read right at the moment, swinging in the breath of nature, in early air of the dawn of life, a slight to silence the heavens. Not quite sure about that lyric. Beyond all mortality we are. Beyond all mortality we are, swinging in the breath of nature, in early air of the dawn of life, slight to the silence of heavens. Yeah, could be born. Could be, yep. I want to travel where life travels, following its permanent lead, where the air tastes like snow music, where grass smells like fresh-born Eden. I would pass no man, no stranger, no tragedy or rapture. I would bathe in the world of sensation, love, goodness, and simplicity, while violated and imprisoned by technology. Yeah, I mean, he's just saying in the most eloquently poetic of ways that, embrace all that life has for you to experience. Despite the fact that we live in a world where you're violated and imprisoned by technology. We know his thoughts on that from Noise, right? Yep, Days, that's exactly where I went. I didn't even see what you said. Yep. The thought of my family's graves was the only moment I used to experience true love. That love remains infinite, as I'll never be the man my father is. That's a super sad sentiment there. Definitely a major feeling of loneliness and feeling like you can't live up to the ideal of your father. How can you just be yourself when you don't know who you are? Yeah, I mean, people say that all the time. If you really don't know who you are, how can you be yourself? And I feel like so many people wander around life not really understanding who they really are and trying to be somebody that they're not. Trying to be what society expects of them, trying to be what their family expects of them, trying to live up to all of this stuff. So you don't really even know who you are. And that's why I try to be myself. I try to always, like I said, love me, hate me, whatever the case may be, I'm trying to be true to myself. And I'm trying to be the authentic J-Man. And if somebody out there doesn't like that person, then hey, that's fine. That's great. I have no problem with that. I'm not trying to make everybody in the world like me. I'm just trying to be me. And if you don't like that, then, you know, go find somebody else to hang out with. I've got no time for trying to put on a mask for somebody and be the person that they want me to be. How can you stop saying, yeah, I know how you feel? This line right here, this. Stop saying, yeah, I know how you feel. And I have. There's a point in my life, I can't remember when, but I realized how wrong this statement is. You know, yeah, I know how you feel. No, you don't know how they feel. There's no way you can know how they feel. They can tell you how they feel, but even that does not encompass the way they feel inside, the way that they're experiencing this thing physically and emotionally. You can't know that. How do you know how somebody else feels? You don't. How could anyone know how another person feels? You can't. And and when somebody tells me something, it's like, what I tend to say now is like, I can only imagine how that might make you feel. That's the way I try to say that. If my brain's working well enough and I can and I'm in the moment enough, that's how I will express. That's how I will express it. And yes, and Born, I'll say I empathize with you. I sympathize with you. I may have been through something similar, but I don't say I know how you feel. That's not a very good. It's an incorrect statement. In my mind, that's an incorrect statement. Who am I to judge a priest, beggar, whore, politician, wrongdoer? I am, you are, all of them already. You know, there we go. I mean, it's as humans, it's natural. It's natural for your brain to create shortcuts. Taking the time and expending the energy to sit and think something through all the way every single time you approach that circumstance is way too it expends way too much energy. Thinking about things, deeply thinking about things, burns a lot of energy. And so your brain creates shortcuts to things. So rather than fully delving into it all the time, your brain takes shortcuts. So we see a person, we see a judge, we see a priest, we see a beggar, we see a whore, a politician, a wrongdoer, and we think we know them. We put them in that bucket of that name, of that label, and we assume we know them when we don't. You don't know what got them where they are. I love that verse. Dear child, stop working, go play. Yeah. Speak truth. Yeah. Forget every rule. There's no fear in a dream. And there, I definitely, I don't feel like Tuomas is saying, you know, ditch societal rules, you know, ditch the rules of law. They're just saying forget the idea that you have to conform to some sort of ideal of society, and there's no there's no harm in imagining and dreaming and letting your horizons expand. Is there a village inside this snowflake? A child asked me. That's I've watched some videos of, like, you know, children saying what they think certain things are, and these kinds of cute things that kids say. I love that. What is the color of our lullaby? That amazes me. What the way kids experience the world is freaking amazing. I've never been so close to truth as them. I touched its silver lining. Kids experience the world from such a cool place, and it was cool, so cool watching my daughter grow and learn, going through that phase from like 2 to 7 years old, where they're learning about the world and they've got so many questions, and it's like, and you tell them the answer to the one question, it's yeah, but why? And then you answer that and it's yeah, but why? And it's like, for some people it gets frustrating, but for me it was like, I couldn't, I loved it. I loved feeding my daughter's knowledge, and that hunger that children have for knowledge, and such a cool thing. Death is the winner in any war. Preach, brother. Preach. Death is the only winner. You could add in only. Death is the only winner in any war. I agree with that 100%. Nothing noble in dying for your religion, for your country, for ideology, for faith. I 100% agree with that statement. Good on you, Masfuri. Good on you. I love it. I would be an absolutely happy man to work in that kind of a scenario. And I've had, and maybe still have, a little bit of a desire to be a teacher. But die for another man, yes. All this other shit is not worth dying for. None of that shit is worth dying for. Dying for another man, yes, that's worth dying for. Paper is dead without words. Ink idle without a poem. All the world dead without stories. Without love and disarming beauty. Yeah. To me, our world would be very void. Would be a void without the words of poets. Without written stories. Without all of that stuff. What a horrible world to have to live in without that. Careless realism costs souls. Careless realism costs souls. I'm quite sure I understand that verse very well. I'm not going to dive into that right here. But I think most of us get that. Yep, Born. Yep. Okay. Ever seen the Lord smile? All the care for the world made beautiful a sad man. Why do we still carry a device of torture around our necks? I think I know where this is coming from. Oh, how rotten your pre-apocalypse is. Yes, okay, yes. Yeah, okay, yeah. He makes it pretty clear in the next 2 lines. So this ties to this. So this is saying, believing in some false idea of the world is harmful. And he's talking about religion here. He says, ever seen the Lord smile? No believers have. Maybe if Christ really was a man and was a savior and blah, 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 somebody might have seen him smile, but certainly none of us have. All the care for the world made beautiful a sad man. All the care for the world made beautiful a sad man. Okay, I get it. Yep. So this person that is so wrapped in concern for the world, obviously sad, that makes them beautiful. Why do we still carry a device of torture around our necks? Have a good one, Herbie. So I think he's speaking metaphorically. Here. And I think he's talking about sin. That's my guess. Right, the cross or sin. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. The cross. The cross, which is a symbol of sin, right? So I wasn't far off. Why do we still carry a device of torture around? Yes, I think we're going to go with, I think cross is right. Yeah. Literally a device of torture. Yeah. Yeah, but it also is a symbol of the Christ's act to forgive our sins. So I was in the right ballpark. Didn't have it totally. What's up, Flashy? Oh, how rotten your pre-apocalypse is. That's we talked about this before, how so many, especially Christians, probably even most Muslims, they're living in this world only to get to the final times, to the end times, right? How rotten your pre-apocalypse is. Love that statement. All you Bible black fools living over nightmare ground. Yeah. I mean, and there are so many in like the evangelical Christian churches, there are these people that they're welcoming the apocalypse, right? They can't wait for the apocalypse because that means the end times are here and they're going to get to spend the rest of eternity with God and all of that stuff. Dang, Flashy. Thank you so much. Thank you, Flashy. Right, way to make an entrance. Damn, dropping it in the house. Nobody wants to see J-Man be a rapper. All right, so yeah, that one's pretty clear. I see all those empty cradles and wonder if man will ever change. I see all those empty cradles and wonder if man will ever change. Not 100% sure on that one. I see all those empty cradles and wonder if man will ever change. So, empty cradles, children growing up, moving beyond the cradle, or are we talking about children that died? I'm not sure. I too wish to be a decent man boy, but all I am is smoke and mirrors. Still given everything, may I be deserving. I absolutely appreciate that, Flashy, and I'm glad you're enjoying the stuff. I'm having an absolutely fantastic time going through all of this and just growing deeper and deeper in love with this band. And yeah. Well, and there goes Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous, whoever that may be. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. So yeah, this is Tuomas. This is that. Oh, and Flashy got us up. Gotta like that. Gotta like that. Well, while we're where is? Let's do this. I can't be left out. Bear with me. Hold on. All right. So, oh, what the heck? Did we only have like one unsubbed person in here at the time? Is that what's going on? Only gave one to Alahar? I did 5. I guess it's gonna have some more coming. Oh, no, there they are. Okay, so Flanders, delete. Wyvern. Wyvern. That's not the Wyvern, is it? Barrel and grains. If it is Wyvern, I know Wyvern. Anyway, there's a Wyvern that is a strimmer. Watched a lot of his Dark Souls stuff and some other games. Used to hang out with him a little bit. So yeah, and then the last part, and there forever remains, that change from G to E minor. Somebody's gonna have to explain that to me. I remember seeing that flash up on the screen at the end of Song of Myself at the Wacken concert. But this here, this is really telling of Tuomas. You know, I mean, he just Herbie, you out? The first message was from about the 5th of February for Wyvern, so it was before your reactions. Got ya. All right. So yeah, this line here kind of tells you, you know, where to him. You know, he still kind of sees himself as a man boy. I do too. I see myself as a man boy. You know, I mean, yeah, I'm a 54-year-old man, but there's still a lot of kid in me. Bye Herbie. Have a good one. You know, I wish to be a decent man boy, but all I am is smoke and mirrors. Still given everything, may I be deserving. Yeah. I mean, there are times when I feel like, you know, I don't know. Does the world really see me as who I am? You know, am I deserving of... I've definitely had times that I felt like, you know, am I deserving of the love of the people that I've had in my life, with my ex-wife, with my ex-girlfriends, with my current wife, constantly questioning whether I'm good enough to deserve what I get. And I see that in Tuomas. Brilliant. This is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. I'm going to spend some more time going back through this whole spoken word part, but we probably need to wrap up this Song of Myself video. I have no idea how long it's been going, but it's quite long, I'm sure. But anybody on YouTube that stuck through this and was interested in seeing it, I hope you enjoyed. That was definitely unexpected for the end of that song. Yeah, loved it. Loved Tuomas's mind. Love his heart. I love everything about Tuomas. Definitely got a little bit of a man crush. A lot of a man crush on Tuomas, for sure. So, all right. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Thanks for joining. We got one more. We got the Imaginaerum, instrumental only, to finish out the album. Holy crap, it's 11:30. Yeah. Thank you, Twitch. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for all the things that you do. Thank you, Flashy, for all those subs. Thank you, Anonymous, for the subs. We'll be back to finish this all out here in just a little bit. Peace.